welcome back to Books with Lauren. The lighting is horrendous. I am so sorry. The sun is shining in like literally every possible angle, no matter how I sit, but that's beyond the point. Today though, it's gonna be fun because I am going to, well, I was gonna say a bunch, but not really a bunch, probably like a couple or a few used bookstores in the area, just to see what we can find. And the first one that I'm at here is Second Reading, and it's very sweet because it is owned by like the senior community center in my town. So it's all volunteer run and it's all older adults that run it. And it's actually been closed for quite some time because obviously older adults are a vulnerable population for COVID. So they closed during pretty much the entirety of the pandemic up until I think like the past month they reopened. But I'm excited to be back because I've only been like once or twice and then it closed. But like I said, it's very sweet. All the books are donated, so they're also very reasonably priced. And last time I found quite a few like newer books and just a good selection. So we will see what we find. I will take you along and let's go. Okay, so I am back. It was successful. I did get a few books, and I will show you, I think, just like all at once, maybe when I get back home. But oh my god, the lighting is so bad. But anyway, they had so many new books. Like, I was actually very surprised. Like, the one book that I got that I'll show you guys, it literally just came out, I think, like a month or two ago, and I got it for $6, and I'm getting distracted. Now I understand why people feel really awkward when they go out in their cars. Okay, not that anybody's watching or cares, but anyway, like the one that I got, that I ended up buying, I almost bought at Barnes & Noble like 3 times for the full price because it's still only in hardcover because it just came out. But I barely filmed anything in there because they didn't even have like music playing in the background. It's very small and it was very, very quiet, but kind of funny. When I first walked in, I heard this woman looking for Colleen Hoover, and she said she was looking for it for her daughter, and she was looking at like the general fiction, and I was like, oh, it's probably like they were all talking together, so I wasn't like intruding in the conversation, though I kind of felt like it. But I was like, oh, it's probably in the romance section, and she was like, I thought it was general fiction, like I didn't think my daughter was reading romance, and I didn't want to tell her it's like spicy, but she looked a little concerned, so I'm hoping that I didn't ruin this girl's like Colleen Hoover moment. Like, I'm a little worried that she's gonna go home and be like, you can't read Colleen Hoover now. So sorry to any 16-year-old out there that wanted her mom to pick her up a couple Colleen Hoover books. But anyway, that is beside the point, and I actually have to go to work for a little bit now because I am manager on duty this weekend, so I'm gonna go do that, and then I think I'm gonna go home, and Ryan and I are probably going to go to the Book Barn, which is very fun. It's literally an old barn that is filled with thousands, and I mean literally thousands of books. So that is the plan. I'm gonna go because I'm blinded and I'm talking in a parking lot and I'm making eye contact with people, and I totally understand why people feel awkward vlogging now. Okay, bye. Okay, so our next stop, as I said before, is going to be the Book Barn, which is a really unique used bookstore because it is quite literally a barn, and a couple had bought it. There's like a whole history on it, but a couple had bought it several years ago, and they lived in part of the barn, and then the other part they made into a used bookstore. And you'll see what I mean, but there's literally like 4 floors, and it's got any kind of book that you could literally ever want, like any topic, any genre. I will say the contemporary fiction section isn't like the most amazing, but I think that if you're looking for something, whether it's like an older book or like a unique edition of a book, they probably would have it. And then the other thing about them though too is, I'll be honest, they're not like the best price wise for used books anyway. Like if I am going to buy a used book, I might as well go to Goodwill or the bookstore that I went to earlier today. But at the Book Barn, sometimes they're like $10 for a paperback, which I know, again, it's better than buying obviously a new book, but for a used book that's paperback, $10 I think is a little steep. But I will purchase books from them if it's something that I've been really looking for. And I also do want to support the Book Barn because it is obviously locally owned, and it's an older man that still owns the bookstore. So I think that's sweet. And I do want to, you know, provide some support that I can, but it's not the best for being cost efficient. So anyway, I usually like just to go browse and see what they have. You could spend like a whole day in there. So that is really the fun in it. Even if I don't buy anything, that is okay. So we will head there, and it's starting to get dark, so the lighting's just going to get worse and worse. But nonetheless, let's go. Okay, so I am back from today's book shopping adventure. I actually only ended up going to 2 places. I wanted to stop at Goodwill, but then it got kind of late, so I didn't get around to it. But I definitely want to stop there sometime soon because I feel like I usually find the best books there, and they're like 99 cents. But I did get 3, so they all are from the first one. I didn't get anything at the Book Barn, but it was fun just to browse around. It was actually very busy today too. But anyway, I spent a total of $16 and got these 3, one of them being a hardcover even. And I'll show you that one first because I think I'm most excited about this one because I almost bought this at Barnes & Noble like the past, how's Margot yawning? The past couple of times that I've been there. And it just came out, like I said earlier, like it just came out like a month ago. So I'm surprised it was there, but it is Jodi Picoult's newest book, Wish You Were Here. I have heard really, really good things about this one. It is based on the pandemic, actually. I think it's interesting that we're starting to get into books that are now based on the event that we're still living in. But I don't know anything about it. I mean, I usually go into my books blindly, but I truly don't know what the synopsis is other than it has to do with COVID. But I think I've heard that this is one of those like mind-blowing books, or like I think it has some kind of twist to it. I don't know, but either way, I am very excited to read this one and super excited that I found it for $6. It was actually like the first book that I had picked up when I was there, and I immediately knew I had to get it. So that is Wish You Were Here. And then next up is another book that I keep looking at when I'm at Barnes & Noble. And then literally I think since probably like the fall time, I pick it up every single time I'm there, and then I end up putting it down for whatever reason. But I'm happy I found it because I paid $5 for this, and it is White Ivy by Susie Yang. Also, this is in like very good condition. Like there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. Like the spine isn't even cracked yet. So I feel like somebody literally just read this and then immediately donated it. So also don't know what this is about. I do believe that this is considered a thriller though, or it has some kind of mystery thriller elements. But I have seen mixed things on it, but I've also heard, I think it's kind of polarizing because I think some people really do like this and then others are not a fan of it at all. So we'll see. Either way, I only spent $5 on it. And yeah, I'm just happy that I found this and I can stop picking it up at Barnes & Noble just to put it down. All right, and then lastly, I found The Last Mrs. Parrish by Liv Constantine. And I'm gonna save this one, I think, for summer, just obviously, but also I have so many books that I want to read very soon. So I feel like this one I can hold off because this would be like a good pool or beach read, it looks like. It is part of Reese's book club, and I do follow her book club pretty well. Like I feel like I've read a lot of books that are in her book club, and most of them I liked. So I think that I will like this. Plus, I'm not picky about my thrillers. So I know for some people, I feel like this is like some people's Gone Girl. Like Gone Girl is what got me into thrillers, and I feel like I've heard that this is the same thing for people that read this before Gone Girl, if that makes any sense. But also don't know what this is about. I know I'm giving you guys such a good idea of what these books are about, but because it's a thriller, I especially want to go into it blindly, so I'm not even going to read the back before I read this. But this has been on my list for a while and just never really wanted to buy it new for whatever reason. So happy I found that, and that is pretty much it. It was a good time just browsing books, hanging out on a Saturday. Let me know if you read any of these books, what your thoughts were. I always love to hear people's opinions. Even if you didn't like it, just let me know what your thoughts are without spoiling anything. But that's it for today, and I will see you next time. Bye.